Comment? Joseph Schneider.
Do I have to push the button?
Yeah.
Joseph Snyder out of Durant is, I'm the Shiawassee County Regional Veteran Council Commander. As I understand, you guys had a problem with two of our applicants that put in for the VA committee because they didn't turn in a 214 limit. That runs into a problem of Privacy Act. We don't give out that information to anyone unless we're doing a claim. So is another one is all the guys that put in for it, including myself, are part of a veteran organization, which you have to have a good, honorable discharge to be part of VFW, Legion, DAV, AMVETS, all veteran organizations. So if that clears up any questions you have on the VA committee, is the regional is made up of all commanders or representatives of the different organizations. And if you have any questions, I'll be here.
Okay, thank you. Any other call to the public at this time? We'll move down to agenda item 4 with our appointments to boards and committees. The Health Board.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to reappoint James Capitan for a 3-year term on the County Health Board.
Motion. Support. Motion and support. Any more discussion on this?
He's still kicking and he wants to serve again.
All right.
His name's on the side of the building.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion that we reappoint John Pytosh on the County Health Board for a 3-year term.
So motion made. Support. Support. Any discussion on that? Another guy interested in continuing to serve, so. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. Motion carries. We'll move on to Veteran Affairs Committee. We have one opening at this time. And I see Robert Sherwood is interested in reappointment to the board. And we also have, he said 2 were disqualified. Which 2 were not? I see we have Gene
Hathaway.
Hathaway, we have Gary Anderson, Michael Nations, Matthew Shepard, and Joseph Schneider also considered for the one opening. Which ones were?
They're all open.
Here, it was just a misunderstanding between the VA office and where the DD 214s are at and who has access to them. And we ended up getting it cleared up. They weren't taken off. Everybody who applied is in your packet
Okay.
to be considered.
So all 6 of them were considered.
I'll make a motion that we reappoint Robert Sherwood for a 3-year term to the Veterans Affairs Committee.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion?
I just want to bring to attention, there is a House Bill 4970 on the Senate Committee of the Whole right now that should be taken up for a vote tomorrow. House Bill 4970 will increase from 5 to 7 the maximum membership of a committee administering a county department. So it would amend Public Act 192 of 1953. It would require at least one committee member rather than all members to be appointed upon the recommendation of the post of each chartered veterans organization in the county, and would require a committee to have at least one independent member who may or may not be a member of a congressionally chartered veterans organization. So I foresee this passing this week as a close-up session, and we'll open up some positions for the new board in the new year. Something to consider.
And if I may,
The law, both the 214 and 192 is, are connected at the hip, meaning that one tries to clarify and update after 60 years roughly between them. It's supposed to be, this committee is supposed to be made up of wartime veterans helping wartime veterans. That isn't exactly true with our committee. That's a different discussion at a different time. But it also says that in there that you're not supposed to have any more than 2 representatives of any one conflict. Right now, we have Jim Carruthers from the American Legion, Vietnam era, and Doug Hyatt from Vietnam, already on the committee. They were reappointed first of the year in January. There was a lot of discussion, if you remember, as at that time. But the whole thing is that Bob Sherwood is also a Vietnam veteran. So he's, following that he's not even eligible. And part of these other gentlemen that are on there, who are all commanders for different outfits, are also, a couple of them are Vietnam. I believe Gene Hathaway, he's commander for the Legion in Clayton County, but he is a Shiawassee County resident. He was Vietnam. Gary Anderson, he is definitely Vietnam, VFW commander. Mike Nations, I believe he,
Desert Storm.
Desert Storm. He is a Marine, so. Matt Shepard,
Desert Storm.
was he Desert Storm also? Okay. And Joe is Iraq. Okay. So, making decision as far as let's comply with the law, it's, and I hate to think that these other gentlemen are going to be ruled out because they served in Vietnam. But in complying with the law, we can only have 2 from Vietnam. So that leaves Mike Nations, Matt Shepard, and Joe Snyder, all for this one position. And that eliminates Bob Sherwood, Gene Hathaway, and Gary Anderson. So we only actually have 3 people for this one position. So I think we need to discuss their qualifications and move from there. So do we have their resumes or anything available? Pat? Caitlin?
Everything that's in the packet is what everyone turned in. The only thing not in the packet are 2 of the DD-214s that couldn't be put into the packets. So whatever everybody had turned in, you guys should have received.
Okay. Well, what I know about Mike Nations is he's a senior commander, vice commander for the Duran VFW. He's a Marine. Used to be a cop. Matt Shepard, he's been in here a lot. Desert Storm. He was, what, Army? And Joe, he was Air Force in Iraq. And he's not only got voted in by the county,
Regional.
regional committee by all the commanders. But he is also a junior vice commander for the state of Michigan for the DAV. And he's been a member of the local and held many offices. And he's a lot like me. We're not too bright to do a lot of funerals. So I see it as we have to make a decision between these 3 gentlemen. I think they're all qualified as is, but one was a Marine, one was Army, and one was Air Force. So, anything else?
Any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman, do you know that's what he's saying to be true, or?
It would have to be to the legal counsel. You'd have to ask Mr. Harrington.
Well, I wasn't given the statute ahead of time, but I believe it's preparatory language, regulatory or admonishment. I don't think the statute requires that. But I'd have to read the statute exactly to be sure. I wasn't given that.
I'm not on the board, but I don't know why we don't appoint something new, and then there won't be any conflict, so.
Yeah.
Here's my son and two friends, no conflict.
We have,
Well, the whole point of having the different war periods represented on there, it goes back to, it started with the World War I, and then World War II, Korea, Vietnam.
Mr. Archer is here now.
He just walked in, maybe he can answer the questions there.
What's the question?
We got 3 people that have applied for the VA committee.
Was it 3 or was there more? than that?
Well, there's more, but right now, you have 3 people, and there's only supposed to be 2, according to
PA 214.
the 214, is that 2 from each war period. And we've got 3. One, Bob Sherwood, wants to remain on the committee, and we have 3 people that are not from Vietnam. And we have 3 that are from Vietnam.
What's the question?
Is it in fact, in statute and law, that it has to be made up of no more than 2 from each war era?
Well, I haven't seen that fact. I haven't seen a fact where it has to be from a war period. If you can cite exactly where it is in PA 214, it has to be from a war period.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm only on section 35.1. I don't see it.
I do know that there's a bill before the state Senate and the House of Representatives in Michigan to make the board instead of from 3 to 5 or 3 to 7.
4970. We
Yeah,
discussed that,
4970,
yes.
exactly.
But 4970's been on,
It's on the floor.
it's on the floor since October. Who knows when it's going to get passed? Or if
It's been
it
in
does.
committee since September, but it's on the floor and on agenda for this week, according to sources.
What statute do you cite, Commissioner?
Act PA 214 of 1899, correct?
Which section?
I'm reading right now too. Well, on the bottom of section 1, I'm not sure if this is applicable in this part of it, but section 1 of 3521, very last line, this is, I'm trying to find the first of the sentence. It's a long one. Indigenous members of the Army, Air Force, all the other organizations, parents of each individual deceased member who served during a period of war described in section 38 CFR 3.2, except for that purposes of the section, period of war for Vietnam era means the following. February 28, 1961 through May 7, 1975, for a veteran who served during that period. On or after January 31, 55, in an area of hazardous duty for which the veteran received an Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal or Vietnam Service Medal. And then it goes on to collecting the millage and all this other.
Commissioner, what section are you referring to concerning what you assert as a limited to from any particular?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
What section specifically were you referring to when you said that issue?
And that's what I'm trying to find, because I've read this so many times, so it boils all together.
Well, I mean, what,
I would say that we should move this forward, and if he comes up with a, something legitimate by tomorrow, then we could reconsider it. But at this point, there's nothing legitimate saying that.
Just a comment, you know, if this is going to move from 5 to 7, the opportunities are there to add to this. So, yeah.
And that's all based on if that passes. It's been getting kicked around in Lansing for quite a long time. Because it goes from the House to the Senate, and then it's got to go through a bunch of other meetings and things. So
Once
you
it
just
passes,
never know.
it should pass the Senate tomorrow, go right back to the House. It passed the House, 0 nay votes. So it is on the agenda for General Council today, but they'll probably try to get out of session by Thursday. It might go all night, depending on what they're trying to accomplish. But I text over to Lansing this afternoon to see if it's still moving, and according to the numbers on the House floor, it's supposed to leave the Senate today.
Just
do we have,
perusing the sections.
Yeah, there's a motion.
yeah, we do have a motion and a second on the floor. Further discussion for me, I would like to see that statute, just so we know whether it is or isn't, if it's there, if it's not there. You know, hopefully we can find that out by tomorrow. I don't know if,
As I looked through the sections there, I didn't see any requirement that they come from any particular board period at all. Maybe it can be anywhere.
That is the VA committee, not the PA 214.
is there any,
The PA 214 is different than the VA committee.
is there anything
They have to cite the sections.
So all I have is of the persons appointed under subsection 1, one of the persons shall be appointed for a term of 1 year, one for a term of 2 years, and one for a term of 3 years. And at the expiration of the term of which each of the persons was appointed, his or her successor shall be appointed for a term of 3 years. The person so appointed shall organize the selection of one of their number as chairperson, one as secretary, in the event of the death, resignation, change of residence, or other disability of any member of the commission. Creating a vacancy, the judge of probate shall fill the vacancy by appointment for an unexpired term. The members shall each file the constitutional oath of office with the probate court and receive the proper certification by their appointment. They are entitled to reasonable compensation for their services to be fixed and paid by the county board of commissioners of the respective counties. The judge of probate may remove any member of the commission for cause. That is for the appointment. It says who are residents of the county who are honorably discharged soldiers, sailors, marines, nurses, or members of the women's auxiliary of the United States Armed Forces to a commission to be known as the Soldiers Review Commission of the county with the powers and duties as provided in the same.
is there anything else, any other discussion on this? Commissioner Snyder, are you going to continue to search for that?
Sure thing.
All right, I guess we can revisit this committee of the whole, but we do have a motion on the table, so all those in favor of moving this person forward, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on to any other agenda items at this time for the Health and Human Services Committee. We have none. We'll move to a second call to the public. Hearing none. Meeting's adjourned.